Hey guys, my name is Baya from Mentor Mode YT, and you're welcome to another video on my channel where we go over strategies for building and monetizing faceless YouTube channels. Now, I was taking a walk this morning and I got this video idea based off what I've been doing recently I wouldn't say recently, I would say for the past 2 years, we've been doing something differently, which has been giving us more speed and more leverage. And I just wanted to, make a video about it and share that knowledge with you guys. If any of you is a beginner who's just getting started, or you've been in the business for a while and you're looking for a new strategy to apply to see growth much more faster, I believe this video will help. And also stick around till the end to make sure you don't miss all the points that I'll be making in these videos. Now, the fastest way to get to $2,000 a month on YouTube if you have no experience at all, this might be a very controversial opinion, but I believe the fastest way to do that is to acquire a channel that's already making money. Now, stay with me. I believe speed comes from leverage, not learning everything from zero. And I just want to cast your mind back to something. Two examples I'm going to make. Elon Musk wanted an app that helps people share their thoughts online. And he decided, hey, I'll just go buy Twitter, which is now X. Now, on the other hand, Mark Zuckerberg decided to build from scratch and funnel his audience to a new app called Trends. And we don't need to be a genius to see that Elon's strategy works, because he just went and he acquired something that's already in a space that's already doing what he wants, what he had in mind. Now, if the roles were reversed for both of them, and let's say Mark went ahead and acquired X and Elon started Threads, it would still be the same outcome. Twitter will still surpass that because Twitter already has that audience. And that's why I believe speed comes from leverage, not starting from zero, not learning everything from zero. And if your goal is to get to $2,000 a month with a YouTube channel, you have no experience at all, I think the advice of starting the channel from scratch might actually be slowing you down. I feel that's the problem for most people. And the reason why most beginners never get to monetization is they spend months testing multiple niches, testing multiple formats, titles, thumbnails, retention strategies. And by the time they learn what's working, they're either burned out or they've spent too much money. And I want you to understand that the problem isn't you. You're not failing because YouTube is hard. You're failing because you're trying to invent a system rather than just plugging yourself into one, if you get what I mean, which was what Elon did. He just plugged himself into a system that was already working, which was Twitter. Now, the goal is not to become a YouTube expert. I think that's why all the gurus in this space tell you, oh, start a channel from scratch, log in and grind for 6 months. I'm not a fan of all that. Your goal is cash flow, not to become a guru. And I believe that the fastest way to achieve that is to just acquire a channel that's already making money. You could be making $300 a month. You could be making $400 or $500 a month. You are not just buying a channel, you're buying data. You're buying history. You can go into the analytics and see what's working. And you can double down on that. You can scale much faster. And it's good. It will save you probably 6 to 8 months of just testing out multiple things. And I've seen it a lot where people spend 6, 7, 8 months on one channel, go in $12,000, and the channel is not making any money back. And the fastest way is just acquiring a channel. And it's because you're buying data, number one. The niche is proven. You're buying something that's already proven to make $300 to $400 a month, and you can scale that to multiple figures. And the audience is already trained to watch. The riskiest phase is building from scratch. If you're acquiring a channel that's already making money, you're skipping the riskiest phase and you're just going straight to what's working. It's a much more leveled playing field because you're skipping an entire 6, 8, 9, probably 1 year of multiple learning curves to just get to monetization. You get data that's proven, you get content that's already validated, an audience that's trained to watch. I think it's a much more better strategy. And the reason I believe this works for beginners is, I've always said, I don't want to sound a broken record, but you get to monetization faster. You inherit a working system. That's a system that's already working. So you already know what titles work. You already know what thumbnails work. You already know what video length works. You already know what posting frequency that works. You can scale instead of just trying to survive. Once the channel is doing $500 to $1,000, getting into $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 becomes a case of duplication, not luck. When you're starting from scratch, you're basically relying on research and luck. And don't get me wrong, there will always be outliers. There will always be people who go with no experience, find the right niche and get into it. But if that's not going to be your case, then I think this is a much more viable strategy. And people often ask, isn't buying a channel going to be expensive? Why can't I just put that money into making content? Nah. You're starting a channel from scratch. There's so much uncertainty you have to go through for the first 6 to 12 months. Believe me, it's something I've been doing for the past 4 years. And you're buying time and certainty, not just a YouTube channel. Because if you start from scratch, there's so much uncertainty. If you just acquire something that's already making money, you're buying time, which I believe the goal of money is to buy time, and you're getting a degree of certainty on that also. And yeah, that's what I strongly believe, that you succeed much more faster in this industry if you just acquire channels. Now, I have built and sold multiple channels, and I have sold channels to media companies that's all they do. They just have access to funding. You bring them a channel that's making $10,000, $20,000 a month. They buy it from you. They use the revenue from the channel to keep on making content, and they use part of the revenue to also pay the funding company that acquired it for them. But now these are the big guys. They can spend $100,000, $300,000 on the channel. In your case, you're just starting out. You should be looking around, getting a channel for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I'm giving you the bigger picture. This is what the big guys are doing. And I believe this is also for people who value speed and cash flow. If you want to go start from scratch and go through the 6 to 12 months learning curve, you can do that. But if you value speed, if you value cash flow, if you value leverage, I think this is a much more viable plan. And another thing I would add is, as an example, is I'm going to share my screen now so we can look at this together. Now, this is a channel that's currently for sale. This particular channel is currently for sale. And if we look at this, the channel started 2 months ago. If you click the most popular, you can see the most popular video is over 380,000 views. Now, bear in mind, this channel was built by someone who's skin deep in the game, 5 years together, 4-5 years together. So we know how to get channels to go viral from scratch. Now, you as a beginner might not know how to do that. That's the point I'm making, that as a beginner, the biggest play for you might just be acquiring a channel. I'm gonna go into the analytics now so you can see. Now this is probably one of the smaller channels, the smallest channels in our portfolio of channels. You see October the channel made $2,000. In November, it made $2,700. And in December, we had our lowest earning month, which was around 1,190. And you can see in January, it's currently counted. Now, imagine you as a beginner, you acquire this particular channel. And by the way, this channel is currently for sale. If you're interested, you can click the description or the about page on my channel, and you can contact me via email if you're interested in this. Now, this is what I'm saying. When you buy a channel that's already making money, you're buying data necessarily. You could see the channel is already getting impressions. You're already seeing what your viewers are searching for. You can see what content is suggesting you, what content you're getting suggested from. And this is essentially the detail. These are the details you look at when you want to scale a channel. And you can come into audience. You can see the monthly audience. You can see what videos the audience finds engaging. You can see what times your subscribers are online, so you can come up with a solid schedule for posting content. You can see what other channels they're watching. You can see what videos they've watched in the past 7 days. So essentially, you're buying data. You can see how many of them have their notifications turned on. You can see if they watch long form, shorts, live. So this is what I'm saying, what devices they're on, their age groups, their geography. Essentially, you are spending money to acquire data. And this is why I think this is a viable strategy. Now that you can see the CPM here, you can see the RPM, to see the CPM, we'll have to go into always changing this. So, okay, yeah, you can see the CPM here, which is around $20. Now, I'm sure some of you might think, oh, well, I can just go start a channel in this niche. You're not going to make it work, trust me, because it takes an incredible amount of research to build channels and get them monetized this really fast, right? Now, in another video, I'm going to go on more strategies if you're starting from scratch. If you're someone who's who basically wants to just do everything yourself and figure it out. So I'm going to make another video on that. But I decided to make this video for people who are looking to just skip the waiting line. The goal of money is to save time, not the other way around. I thought about and I decided to make a video on it. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. I'll do my best to respond to every single one of them. And if you want to learn how people acquire, optimize, and scale faceless channels without being on camera, I'll walk you through step by step in more common videos. And if there's any topic you need to cover, you can just leave a comment also, and I'll do my best to record that when I find time. This is also going to be a bonus for the video. And what I want to do is I want to show you guys, I want to add this as a bonus point. Now, when you acquire a channel, there are two things you need off the bat when you've acquired the channel from the seller. The number one thing you need to ask is, does the channel come with a team? Does the channel come with a team that's already making content? Or will you have to go and build your own team from scratch? Now, if you have to build your own team from scratch, I do not recommend acquiring that channel. Only acquire channels that come with a team. If you want to go ahead and acquire the channel and build your own team, then make sure it affects the pricing, because now you have to go and build an entire new team to make that content. Whereas if you're buying a channel that comes with a team, it's plug and play. Another thing you should request is an operations manual. Now, this is what an operations manual would look. It would give you a proper breakdown of everything: the script writer, the voiceover artist, the editor, the designer, how much they get paid, how they get paid. And it's also going to show paying the team, how they send their invoices, how the workflow is organized. It basically breaks down everything the team does, so you have a clear understanding of what you're buying, because you're not just going to pay for something you don't understand. And it also gives you the schedule, the thumbnail, title strategy, what words they put in the titles to get traction. Basically, you need to get the seller needs to create this for you, because this is going to help you run the channel. And yeah, I just thought about this and I wanted to add this as a bonus to the video. And yeah, thank you very much, guys.